Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I've been away for a while. It's nice to be back. You've been winning games while I've been away. It's been fantastic. Hopefully I'm not the jinx. Match day, mate, normally you wouldn't be here, would you? You've been getting yourself prepped. What's a match day like for you, and what would you and the team be doing right about now?
So for me personally, I'm probably just riding up to the stadium. So it was a good time, and it's great to be here and see so many faces too. So for me personally, we're just having a little bit of a chat there about switching off. So the morning on match day is a bit of a switch off for me. I turn the phone off, I close the computer, go for a walk, have breakfast, trying to switch off, and then about 1 o'clock, really get back into match day and see if the notes during the week are still relevant after a little bit of a rest, and then get ready for what we have to do today every match day. The players are much the same. They have a schedule that they follow pretty much from when they wake up, pretty strategic and strict on their meal times. Getting out for a walk, stretching, recovering, a little bit of a nap, refueling their bodies, 3 or 4 hours before match day. And they're professionals, and they do that really strictly, even though there's no one watching.
I've got a question here from the Mariners. What's the team in tactics today? No, seriously though, Caitlin Munoz mentioned to you as one of her favourite coaches. You worked with her for quite some time in Belconnen United, and how's the transition from club football to this level?
Caitlin will say anything for $10.
I think she wanted to get into that.
Turn the car.
I think from transition from MPL land into A-League is it's ginormous from everything besides the football. I think that football's football. It's 11v11 all the time. It's it's on 100 by 50 most of the times as well. So I feel like that transition from a football point of view has been sensational and quite streamlined. But it's everything else. We're full-time environment now. You're thinking about things that you never had to think about, and you're learning things that you never know you needed to know. From internally, from me down, I'm managing 16 staff and 24 players. I think back at when we talk about Belconnen with Caitlin, I think if we had a physio rock up to game day, we're pretty happy. So there's a big difference between that. So from a football point of view, it's been pretty seamless and whatnot, but it's the other stuff that it's taken a lot of growth and stress as well. But comfortable that probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I really feel like we were broken into, for myself, but then with the team that we have this year as well. And slowly we're building onto potentially something special.
It seems rather fitting that as we prepare to play the Mariners over there, the first team we ever played in the W back in 2008. The beginning of the season, for those of us that were there, and Sam was part of it, of course, this reminds me an awful lot of the first year in 2008, where it was very much going into the unknown this year. Back then, obviously didn't have a team, didn't have sponsors, didn't have anything like that. The build into a grand final team was quite something. Sitting on the fringes of the finals at the moment now, considering where you were, what was it, 6 months ago now, how much of an achievement is this for you?
I think it's, for me personally, it's an expectation of what Canberra United means to me. I think since day one, since these girls were playing from the stairs to the staff, and now as head coach, finals football at Canberra United is an expectation. So for me to take this job, as much as there's a lot of factors and things that happen to make it half, and sometimes there's walls that we have to jump over collectively, and often I think that trying to get back into there would be relief more than anything. I feel like I had to say that with 9 games to go still, but it's also something that's a great opportunity for us and players. As much as we got these two or many others with lots of trophies and lots of medallions and success, it's also about future-proofing the women's game in Australia as well. So give them a little bit of taste of success and see how many Matildas and internationals that we can produce, on our carpet at McKellar, and get that other side of success as well.
You talked about jumping over walls. It's going to take you back to the 2012 grand final. You weren't in the room when Caitlin Munoz mentioned this, but there's something about you passing things over a fence. Sorry, Ash mentioned it. You were in the 2012 grand final. What are your memories of that day as a supporter as you were there?
It was very hot, and the ladies needed water, so we made sure. So that's one of my father's memories, and I know it came up on social media during the week. I think that's kind of cemented me that on the women's side of football, and where I was for 4 or 5 years before that, I really wanted to be involved and wanted to get heavily involved in Canberra United as well. You know, the purity of the game, the honesty from the fans. It was just, and it being the first to, and the excitement around that as well, you know. So it was excited to be able to have my first, you know, kind of memory that I remember like yesterday here at McKellar Park, which I spent a lot of time with Belco, but, you know, being able to be head coach, you know, 10 or 12 years later.
We go back a long way. We used to play against each other quite a lot. You transitioned from a player into a coach. Now, as a proud person from Canberra as well, going from coach at Belconnen United into this role, what does it mean to you, and how proud were you when you were asked to do it?
Very proud, you know. It's one thing to coach an A-League team. It's another thing to coach your A-League team. So I have ambitions as much as players have ambitions, you know, in their coaching A-League, in their football career and playing career. I have ambitions at mine, you know, coaching career, and I'm very fortunate that, you know, my first professional gig is at my hometown club and in an A-League sense. So it's very humbling, but I'm not going to lie, it puts extra pressure on because, you know, it's turn around in the stand and, you know, by name, I could probably pick out 75% of the people, and definitely have seen, you know, 99% of the people as well. So there's a lot of pressure there when I turn around. Hence, I don't turn around a lot anymore. So, but yeah, so very, very humbling, but makes me feel very proud to be able to do that.
Finally, before we let you go over there, give us a little insight into how you prepare to battle the Mariners over there. What's been happening this week, and without giving too much away, what do you do when you look at an opposition and how to prepare to win a game?
Yeah, so the Central Coast Mariners, we actually start looking at 4 weeks prior. Okay, so we got a dedicated analyst team that'll look at Mariners and look at trends for 4 weeks. So that's where we start, and as the games get closer, the players' mindset is about, you know, this week's the most important, and that's what we keep continuing to push in. From a staff point of view, I probably had my first look at Mariners and the clips 2 weeks ago. And then Monday night, we come into our first session of the week. The ladies were going to the gym Monday morning and do their testing. And Monday afternoon, we had a little bit of a debrief about the week before. It was just Perth Glory, but that's in the review mirror. So we start with the Central Coast. We give them a little bit of a brief of what we're going to see this weekend. Come Tuesday, they get their first little taste of video and looks at what their strengths and weaknesses are, Central Coast's, obviously today. And then come Thursday, it's all about us. It's how we're going to beat them, what we're going to do to slow them down and execute. Then come Friday, it's about polishing a little bit of the set pieces and polishing combos with the ladies that know who are starting and who's on the bench. So, you know, it's a 90-minute game that starts 4 weeks ago, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, good luck this afternoon. Thanks for taking some time out of match day to join us here today. Thanks, everyone. And